Shalom, shalom, Yasharala. I hope all is well. Man, what I've got to share with you right now, it surpasses all them other times. I started a video out this way when I told you basically the same thing, but what I got to share with you right now, it hurdles all the revelations that we have learned and been taught in the past. I'm not saying that they're not still priceless, fiery pearls. I'm not saying that we don't need them and we don't need to strongly consider and reconsider them, contemplating them over and over, meditating on them, all of it, all His Word. We should meditate on it day and night. And hey, I applaud all of you who I've noticed that do so. You're unique and rare. You know, like I do, there's not very many who read, who meditate on the Most High's Word. Most of the people who read or who mention the Word, the majority, and this, I'm not exaggerating one bit, you should know that this is true as well. Most use His Word to do things like slap people upside the head with it, to poke their chest out, to get attaboys and attagirls, pats on the back. I just saw sis Trisha Brooks, who I know likes to meditate on the Word. She posted something in Facebook, and she was fed up. I can't remember exactly what she said word for word, but she basically was saying she was fed up with people who engage with her in a conversation regarding the Word, and they oftentimes will want nothing to do with the subject, the topic that she's discussing, because they say it's not a matter of salvation. I know exactly what she's talking about. Most people who chime in, who stop by my doorstep, my threshold, to put their 2 worthless cents in, they show us the bottom of their Nikes like they always have, because they feel that what we're talking about is of no importance to them. But brothers, my sisters, my beloved, if you're hearing my voice right now, trust me when I tell you what I'm about to read to you is of the utmost necessity and importance. It is a matter of life and death. And if you're someone who knows I wouldn't BS you, and that if I say that, it should be what I'm telling you. For those of you who aren't going to show us the bottom of your Nikes, you're probably someone who knows that there's a lot in the Scripture that all of it we don't see. I always say this. Every day I find new truths and revelations in word, in scripture, that I didn't see yesterday when I was looking in it. It's every day. It's like a freshly blossoming, beautiful, explosive, life-changing flower. Over and over. That's why it's called the living word. You know that. I'm not preaching to the choir. I'm just giving a little bit of a disclaimer, a little bit of a heads up, and a plead with you to pay attention to what this is saying. And just like I was just saying, this might be something that you've never heard before. It was something that I had never heard before or seen in his word. And maybe you might not see it right away. Maybe your ears won't be turned on towards this one truth, but I assure you that if you do eat the bread that comes from the mouth of Abba that I'm about to relay to you right here tonight, if you ever do feast on that word and you consume it and your eyes are open and your ears are turned on, you'll know that I was not BSing you one bit. These people, they say they don't want to talk about anything that's not a matter of salvation, but I beg to differ, because all the times I've been told that by people, the things that I was, and me and other people were talking about that they didn't want nothing to do with, was matters of life and death. If these people aren't living, breathing, meditating on his word, it's sad to say, but it's bye-bye for them. And this word that I'm going to read to you right now, and this truth, this massive, humongous, groundbreaking, earth-shattering truth that you're going to hear me read on this video tonight, it's something that the majority are completely clueless about. And you should know I wouldn't lie and tell you that it's a matter of life and death if it isn't. And if you mock and scoff and you consider me to be a liar, well, come tell me that to my face. And if you rub elbows with me and smile at me and are conversate with me, you should know that I wouldn't BS you about this. And if you think that, if you are someone who is cordial with me, but you think that I would say what I just said out the side of my neck, and I didn't mean 1,000% of what I said, then come be a brother or be a sister and come and reprove me. You see, I'm saying that just for those whoever hears this, those who might be questioning whether I am going to be telling you the truth or not. You see, I say what I just said because if you're doubting, I want you to come, be a brother, be a sister, come and reprove me. And let's talk about this Berean style, baby. And when you do, you'll have no choice but to see the truth. If you are a true truth seeker, you won't be able to avoid this mind-bending, ground-breaking, earth-shattering, life-changing, and saving truth that we're going to read right here in this word tonight. So let's get right into it. Let's start reading and let Abba explain and reveal these magnificent truths. But before we go any further, before we take it from the top, let's make sure and remind anyone who's listening to get on your face and give Abba Yahuwah, the Most High, our wonderful Creator, our righteousness, all the praise and all the glory and all the honor and every bit of all the esteem. And now that we've done that, verse 1, woe to you, ravager, while you have not been ravaged, and you treacherous. Let me back that up. Woe to you, ravager, while you have not been ravaged, and you treacherous, while they have not betrayed you. When you have ceased ravaging, you shall be ravaged, and when you stop betraying, they shall betray you. Now, just from that first verse, you can't say that I was even in the slightest bit exaggerating on what I just said a minute ago. Because if you're a true truth seeker, you're a Abba and Torah lover and a lover of his word, you yourself, just like me, you don't want to be betrayed and ravaged. You want to know who the ravager is and expose him for who he is. Right? Yeah. Oh, Yahuwah, show us favor, for we have waited for you. Be their arm every morning, our deliverance also in time of distress. At the noise of the rumbling, the peoples shall flee. When you lift your voice, when you lift yourself up, the nations shall be scattered, and your plunder shall be gathered like the gathering of the caterpillar. As locusts rush about, they rush upon them. Yahuwah is exalted, for he dwells on high. He has filled Sion with right ruling and righteousness. And he shall be the trustworthiness of your times, a wealth of deliverance, wisdom and knowledge, the fear of Yahuwah. That is his treasure, my treasure, your treasure. Am I lying? Is he not the trustworthiness of our times that we're in? Is he not the wealth of deliverance and wisdom and knowledge for us? Yes, he is. So far, so good, right? See, their brave ones shall cry outside, the messengers of peace weep bitterly. The highways shall be deserted, the wayfaring men shall have ceased. He has broken the covenant, he has despised the cities, he respected no man. The earth shall mourn and languish, Lebanon shall be ashamed, Sharon shall be withered like a desert, and Bashan and Carmel be shaken. Now I rise up, declares Yahuwah. Now I am exalted, now I am lifted up. Yes, he is, all esteem. You conceive chaff, you bring forth stubble, your spirit devours you like fire, and people shall be like the burning of lime, like thorns cut up, they are burned in the fire. You who are afar off, hear what I shall do, and you who are near, know my might. Sinners in Sion shall be afraid, trembling shall grip the defiled ones. Who of us shall dwell with the devouring fire? Who of us shall dwell with the everlasting burnings. Now, that right there, verse 14, should allow you to see how that relates to these people who like to only talk about things that they consider to be matters of salvation, right? And you should know, like I do, that they're missing a lot of what is necessary for their true salvation. He who walks righteously and speaks what is straight, he who rejects the gain of oppressions, who keeps his hands from accepting bribes, who stops his ears from hearing of bloodshed and shuts his eyes from seeing evil. He shall inhabit the heights, strongholds of rocks be his refuge. His bread shall be given him, his water be steadfast. Your eyes shall see the sovereign in his comeliness, see a land that is far off. Now, verse 18, this is the key verse that I need you to hone in on right here. Focus on what the Most High is about to say. Verse 18, your heart ponders fear. Where is the scribe? Where is he who weighs? Where is he who counts the towers? Now, if you're not 100% sure of what exactly, precisely it is he's referring to, hold that thought. Keep your ears open and your eyes open as well. Because you're about to learn, just like I did. And trust me, I still ain't exaggerating. It's a matter of life or death. No longer shall you see a fierce people, a people of too deep a lip to hear, of a jabbering tongue no one understands. See, Sion, the city of our appointed time, your eyes shall see Jerusalem, an undisturbed home, a tent not taken down. Its stakes are never removed, nor any of its cords broken. Do you, in any way, think that Abba has ever lied or contradicted himself in his word? I know I haven't. I've never thought that. Ever since I began to see the reality of him and his word and the truth therein. I've never seen one example in his word that would make me even ponder whether or not he is being truthful or whether he is contradicting himself. I can lay out the evidence all day, all night for you, rat-a-tat-tat, of his truth, concrete, unsinkable truth. He said right there that, see Sion, the city of your appointed time, your eyes shall see Jerusalem. He's not lying when he says Jerusalem is an undisturbed home, a tent not taken down, its stakes are never removed, nor any of its cords broken. You can take that to the bank. That it's exactly in the same shape it was way back when. Well, how do you know that? Because he just said. And you're going to see him confirm that to you, and you'll have no doubt. But there, great is Yahuwah for us, a place of broad rivers, streams, in which no boat with oars sails, nor big ships pass by, for Yahuwah is our judge, Yahuwah is our inscriber, Yahuwah is our sovereign, he saves us. Now look, think about what we just read. And I want you to ponder right here In verse 18, but even right back there at the end of 17, he says, see a land that is far off. Can you be honest with everyone else and yourself and understand and admit that there's a reason? If you're like me, you're a true seeker, you should know that every single word, every jot, every tittle, every cross T and dotted I in his word, it's not just in there for fill. It's a million, trillion, a zillion % necessary. You have to read all of the word. He does not lie. And if he put it in his word, it's there for a dynamic reason. It's there for a purpose. And you should know, like I do, it's there to save your life, or it's there for you to overlook and brush it off because it's not what you are feeling that day, or doesn't regard your matters of salvation. If you overlook it, it's more than likely going to be one more cause for your death if you overlook any of his word. He's saying, see a land is far off. But right here at 18, pay attention. He says, your heart ponders fear. Because look what he's saying. He says, in verse 17, he says, your eyes shall see the sovereign in his comeliness, see a land that is far off. And then the next thing he says, your heart ponders fear. You might not know what this is talking about. Let me reveal to you, relay the memo that's been given to me. I'm going to give it to you because that's what we're supposed to do. And besides that, I love you and I love the Most High. This is my job. This is what we do. He says your heart ponders fear, because right after he says, see a land that is far off. And then notice what it says next. It says, where is the scribe? Where is he who weighs? Where is he who counts the towers? What that's saying right there is exactly what most people say when we talk about the set-apart land. Their heart ponders fear. And they say, where is this in the Bible? Where is the scribe? Where is the he who weighs? And where is he who counts the towers? Why isn't it in here? You know what? How many people I've had tell me that they know that the land is where they've told us it is, over there in Israel, Isis-Rael. They say, I know it's there. And I say, how? And they say, I just know. The Bible tells me it's over there. And I say, you mean the Bible says that it's in Palestine in its longitude and whatever? Its exact pinpointed location, it tells you? And they can't answer that question because that's not true. But on the other side of that coin, its location, its description, detailed description, is indeed in his word. All through it. That's why he says, in response to that, he says, for Yahuwah is our judge. Yahuwah is our inscriber. Yahuwah is our sovereign. He's the one that saves us. And if you want some description, the first part of that, he tells you that it has not been removed. It's an undisturbed home, a tent not taken down, its stakes are never removed, nor any of its cords broken. So, what's that saying? Is it saying that the temple, Solomon's temple, and those walls and stuff, the city, the palaces are undisturbed? No, we know that that's not true, right? We know Messiah said not one rock will be left on top of another. So you should understand, like I do, that the description he's given, what he's referring to, is something that cannot be tore down. Well, it could be if he wanted to, but he hasn't. He hasn't caused massive earthquakes to destroy the city. And that's not talking about palaces and temples and man-made buildings. So when he's talking right here, he says, see the land far off. And most people do exactly what he describes there. They ponder fear. They say, where is it in the word? I want to see it. But when you try to show them, no, because they are they bear a massive, deadly, disgusting, disease-ridden burden on their back. That's why he says, no longer shall you see a fierce people, a people of too deep a lip to hear, of a jabbering tongue no one understands. Now you might not see precisely, immediately who that's mentioning. Hold that thought. You're about to. The first description of the cords not broken and a tent not taken down is, but there great is Yahuwah for us, a place of broad rivers, streams, in which no boat with oars, sails, nor big ships pass by. You agreed with me a minute ago when I acknowledged the fact that every letter in his word is of the absolute utmost, no two ways about it, necessity. They have to be taken. Every word has to be not just considered, but acknowledged and utilized. He didn't just tell us that there's no big ships that pass by, that it's a place of broad rivers and streams. He didn't just tell us that just because he likes talking or he likes to hear himself. It's for our life. You realize all the blood, sweat, and tears, the people who lost and sacrificed their lives to get this word here, all the work, the labor that the Most High has put in, the work he's put in to get this word to you. Do you think he would leave just some nonsensical words that mean nothing in his book? Or are you like me and you understand completely that they're all to be eaten like bread? So he says, in which no boat with oars, sails, nor big ships pass by. That's a key description that you need to keep right in the front of your mind. Put a pin in it. For Yahuwah is our judge, Yahuwah is our inscriber, Yahuwah is our sovereign. He saves us. Your ropes shall be slack, they do not strengthen their mast. This is talking about ships still, boats. They shall not spread the sail. Then the prey of great plunder shall be divided. The lame shall take the prey. Neither shall the inhabitant say, I am sick. The people who dwell in it is forgiven their crookedness. Dwell in it. In what? In the boat? No. Hold that thought. 34 verse 1. Come near, you nations, to hear and listen, you people. Again, all these words are necessary. I know you heard what he just said. He said, come near, you nations, to hear and listen, you people. Let the earth hear, and all that is in it, the world and all its offspring. For the displeasure of Yahuwah is against all the nations, and his wrath against all their divisions. He shall put them under the ban, he shall give them over to the slaughter. All nations. And their slain be thrown out, and their stench rise from their corpses, and mountains shall be melted with their blood. And all the host of the heavens shall rot away, and the heavens shall be rolled like a scroll, and all their host fade like a leaf fading on the vine, and like the fading one of a fig tree. For my sword shall be drenched in the heavens. You should know, like I do, when he says sword, in that context, he's talking about his word. It shall be drenched in the heavens. Look, it comes down on Edom and on the people of my curse for judgment. The sword of Yahuwah shall be filled with blood. It shall be made overflowing with fatness, and the blood of lambs and goats with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For Yahuwah has a slaughtering in Basra, and a great slaughtering in the land of Edom. And wild oxen shall come down with them, and young bulls with bulls, and their land shall be drenched with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness. For it is the day of the vengeance of Yahuwah, the year of recompense. For what? For the cause of Sion. Now, when he says Sion, he most of his words, they're of the utmost absolute necessity, and they have multiple significant meanings, purposes. When he mentions Sion, most times, he is referring to the people. At the same time, he's equally putting emphasis on it, so you'll understand that he's talking about a location, Sion. Because right here it says, and its stream shall be turned into tar, and its dust into sulfur, and its land shall become burning tar. Now he's not talking about, he's saying the vengeance on these other people's lands. The day of the vengeance of Yahuwah, the year of recompense. The reason he's doing it, it's for the cause of Sion, for what's been done to Sion. But in the other land, its stream shall be turned into tar, and its dust into sulfur, and its land shall become burning tar. More description. That is not quenched night or day, its smoke going up forever from generation to generation. It lies waste. No one passes through it forever and ever. So that the pelican and the porcupine possess it. Also the owl and the raven dwell in it. And he shall stretch out over it the line of formlessness and stones of emptiness. Its caves, with no one in them, is called a rain, but all its rulers have vanished. And thorns shall come up in its palaces, nettles and brambles in its strongholds, and it shall be a home for jackals, a courtyard for ostriches. And the wild beasts of the desert shall also meet with the jackals, and the shaggy goat call to its companion. The night creature shall also settle there, and shall find for herself a place of rest. The arrow snake shall rest there, and lay eggs, and hatch, and gather them under her shadow. Thereto the vultures shall gather, each with its mate. Search from the book of Yahuwah, and read. Not one of these shall be missing. Every word, all the way necessary. Not one shall be without a mate, for he has commanded my mouth, and his spirit shall gather them, and he shall cast the lot of them, and his hand shall divide it among them with a measuring line. They possess it forever, from generation to generation they dwell in it. 35, verse 1, let the wilderness and the dry place be glad for them, and let the desert rejoice and blossom as the rose. It becomes much and rejoices even with joy and singing. The esteem of Lebanon shall be given to it, the excellence of Carmel and Sharon they shall see the esteem of Yahuwah, the excellency of their mighty Most High. Strengthen the weak hands and make firm the weak knees. Those people who pondered fear in their hearts, strengthen. He's calling on us, demanding that we strengthen the weak hands and make firm the weak knees. Say to those anxious with anxious heart, be strong, do not fear. See, your mighty Most High comes with vengeance, with the recompense of my mighty Most High. He is coming to save you. Then the eyes of the blind shall be opened, and the ears of the deaf be opened. Then the lame shall leap like a deer, and the tongue of the dumb sing, because waters shall burst forth in the wilderness, and streams in the desert. And the parched ground shall become a pool, and the thirsty land springs of water. In the home for jackals, where each lay grass with reeds and rushes. And there shall be a highway and a way, and it shall be called the way of set apartness. The unclean does not pass over it, but it is for those who walk in the way, and no fools wander on it. Now, you have to see that he's distinguishing between the way and a location, because he mentions both right there within the same two sentences. No fools wander on it. Fools are those who don't walk in the way. The only way you're going to be walking on that land where streams are formed in the desert. The only way you'll walk there is if you already walk in the way. It's only for those who walk in the way. No lion is there, nor any ravenous beast go up on it. It is not found there, but the redeemed shall walk there. And the ransomed of Yahuwah shall return and enter Sion with what? With singing. With everlasting joy on their heads they shall obtain joy and gladness, and sorrow, sighing shall flee away. Now we're going to go and read just a little bit of Joel, and then I'll let you go. But you should see, if you're someone who's truthfully truth-seeking, you're Abba loving, and dangling from every word that proceeds out his mouth. You're on your face, giving him all praise, all honor, all glory, and all esteem. You know that every word is a must. So, it being how that's the case, you should already see what he was wanting us to see in what I just read. And then if you can see that, when you go on and read the entirety of Isaiah and Jeremiah and Ezekiel and a lot of Psalms and everywhere throughout the Bible, you will see what he's wanting you to see when he says, a land far off. Right here, 32. We're going to read, and then we're going to get chapter 3. 32, Verse 32, Joel chapter 2, and it shall be that everyone who calls on the name of Yahuwah shall be delivered. For on Mount Sion and Jerusalem there shall be an escape, as Yahuwah has said, and among the survivors whom Yahuwah calls. So that right there, if you're a lover of his word and you dine frequently, you should understand completely. And you'll see it all throughout the scriptures, everywhere else you go to look. His command, his truthful statement, and it's no lie, that in Sion is the only escape if you're alive during that time. For look, in those days and at that time, when I what's he going to say here? When I turn back the captivity of Yehuda and Jerusalem, then I shall gather all nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. And I shall enter into judgment with them there for my people, my inheritance, Yasharallah, whom they have scattered among the nations, and they have divided up my land. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given the young man for a whore, and sold a girl for wine, and drank it. And also, what are you to me, O Sor and Sidon, and all you coast of Phoenicia? Now, before I go any further, keep this in mind. When you go and you're truthfully truth-seeking, trying to find out why he wants you to see a land far off, why he talks about the ravager. When you are looking and diligently searching with your Berean boots on, remember, pay attention, close attention when he's describing the ravager as with words like the coastlands, the coast of Phoenicia. It's for the same reason that he said there is no boats with sails that pass by. He was describing Zion when he said there are no ships that pass by. There, right there, rules out that Israel that they fed us our whole life. They fed us that just like they fed us the flat earth and all the other nonsense, all the other lies that they've told us. You know, just like I do, they've gave us nothing but lies. Are you repaying me? And if you are repaying me, I would swiftly and speedily return your reward, on your own head. For you have taken my silver and my gold and brought my treasures into your temples, and the people of Yehuda and the people of Jerusalem you have sold to the sons of Yahweh to remove them far from their borders. See, I am stirring them up out of the place to which you have sold them, and I shall return on your own head what you have done, and shall sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the people of Yehuda, and they shall sell them to the Shebeites, to a nation far off, for Yahuwah has spoken. Proclaim this among the nations. Prepare for battle. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of battle draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. He's talking about the word right there. Take right now, if you know that he's talking about the time that we're in, you know what time we live in. You should understand that plowshares should be of no interest to you really other than to feed yourself, but he feeds us. Your main priority, your only objective right now is to do what we're doing right here on All Esteem. Do what he's commanding you to do. He's saying, hasten and come, all you nations, and gather together all around. O Yahuwah, let your mighty men come down here. Let the nations be aroused and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there I shall sit to judge all the nations on every side. Put in the sickle, for the harvest has grown ripe. If you have seen what he's pointing out, what I've read to you tonight, you should understand that that means, because we're seeing it, that means that the harvest is ripe. Can I get a hallelujah to that? Man. Come, go down, for the wine press is filled, the vats overflow, for their evil is great. Crowds in the valley of decision. For the day of Yahuwah is near in the valley of decision. I've made videos about what I thought the valley of decision was in the past, and I'm here to tell you I was way off. Because look, he describes the burden that these ravagers, these people who say they are of the city of Jerusalem, they claim to be Israel, Yasharel. The burden that place, that those people who you should know, if you're a true seeker, you should know what those people represent. That is the hub of Kabbalah. It's where all your the Kabbalah tree, all your chakras, fortune telling, all that bull crap comes from. It's where the name of our Abba Yahuwah isn't spoken, but instead other names of blasphemy are uttered. It's where all manner of evil things are done. And at the same time, what makes it so horrendous is that peace-loving, gentle, kind, good-hearted people, whether they're Christians or whatever they are fooled, hook, line, and sinker into believing that a place that's not the place is a set-apart place, and a people that's not the people are a set-apart people, and they give their 1,000,000,000% devotion to the land and to them people. To the people, I don't know if you've noticed here lately, and it's been this way the whole time, but those people that live over there, they can't stand all those little good-hearted, sweet, innocent, sweet-hearted people. They would rather spit in their face and smack them upside their head with the bottom of their shoe. They despise those people who adore them. There's a reason he said that its cords are not broken. A tent that has not been taken down, you will know it for a fact when you see it. I can tell you that I see it. You don't have to believe me on that if you don't want to. Come try and prove me wrong so that I can prove to you that it's true. because I love you. I don't want you to give your undivided devotion to people, dens of vipers, serpents, whatever you want to call them. I'm trying to hold my tongue because I don't want to get this taken down, and I'm not that big of a jerk to go out of my way to use profane language to describe them people. But you should know, I shouldn't have to say anymore, you know who they are. They're the ones that Messiah referred to when he said they claim to be Yahudi Jews, but they're not. They're of the synagogue of Satan. Synagogue. There's a reason he says the valley of decision. Because if you are a true believer, lover of him and his word, a true truth seeker, abiding in his word, meditating on it, and you understand the necessity for it, that it is a matter of life and death, or death, it is the valley of decision when it comes to what land we see from afar off, who the ravenger it is that he's mentioning. It's a valley of decision. It's a stumbling block. I only know a few people, and I don't know them. I have never even talked to them, really. Had a conversation with them. I've just seen them online, like 2 or 3 people who acknowledge that place over there is all fiction, and it's designed to sweep you away. It's just another one of those blatant, obvious realities that everyone else should see, just like the flat earth and just like all these other truths that people just can't wrap their head around for some reason. It's just like that, but worse. Because those people who these people would die for, they wouldn't give you the sweat off of their brow. They would just as soon light you on fire, for the most part. Go look it up right now. They're having uproars over there. They're trying to grab a hold of the Christians by the nape of their hair and drag them up out of there. They're telling them, go home, go back to where you come from. We don't want you here. That's what they're saying. And like I said, I knew all along that that's how they felt. But you know, they got that little wheezy, like, you know what, eat and grin on their face, and they'll use you and play nice while they're getting what they want. But what they're gonna get from Abba, it's not what you want. You want no part of it. And what he has in Sion is that escape. He said it. You just seen him describe it in his word, and that's not just one spot. It's everywhere. Prove me wrong that it ain't. That he ain't all in his word telling us that the escape is in Sion. Because if it wasn't, then he wouldn't say it. He would just let us all dwell where we're dwelling, as long as we're walking in the way, and we'll just be raptured right up, in the twinkling of an eye. There's another one of those lies that should be obvious to anyone who reads his word, that it's not in there. Well, just as equally as blatant and obvious of a lie that is, it's just as obvious that you have to go to Zion in the time, if you're in this time that we're in, and you should know, just like I do, what season we're in. And you should know that when you see that land from afar off, you see that desert rose, the bud blossoming, and the book of his is opened up so that the dumb may now sing. When you see all these things, you should know what time it is, and you should know where your home is, and it's time to come home. Sun and moon shall become dark, and stars shall withdraw their brightness, and Yahuwah shall roar from Zion and give forth his voice from Jerusalem. You hear it? I know I do. And the heavens and the earth shall shake, but Yahuwah shall be a refuge for his people and a stronghold for the children of Yasharal. Then you shall know that I am Yahuwah, your mighty Most High, dwelling in Zion, my set-apart mountain, and Jerusalem shall be set apart, and foreigners shall not pass through her again. And it shall be in that day that the mountains drip with new wine, and the hills flow with milk, and all the streams of Yehudah shall be flooded with water, and the fountain flow from the house of Yahuwah, and the water, the Wadi Shittim. Mitzrayim shall become a ruin, and Edom a ruin, a wilderness, because of violence done to the people of Yehudah, whose innocent blood they shed in their land. But Yehudah shall dwell forever, and Jerusalem to all generations, and I shall avenge their blood, which I have not avenged, and Yahuwah shall be dwelling in Zion. So you should understand, there's a reason he repeats himself over and over again. There's a reason that he even put one letter, each individual letter in all of Scripture. Now, you could be like those people who say, that's not a matter of salvation. I'm not talking about that. They say that now I'm not saying that the earth is flat, that I agree with that it's flat, but I do know for a fact that there's a dome up there, that we're not on a spinning ball, that's all Baal worship, that the globe is a lie, and it's to keep you from understanding and knowing who the Creator is. That's the reason for those lies. Just like those people who say that that's not a matter of salvation, so they won't touch flat earth, you should know, just like I do, that it means everything to your salvation. I didn't begin to know the reality of Yahuwah and the reality that I've been told a bunch of fairy tales about him before. I didn't start seeing all those truths until I realized that all that, the moon landing, all that stuff was nothing but garbage, lies, designed and intended to kill us, not just harm us, not just because they want you the way they just want to lie to you so they can outdo Russia in some kind of space race. No. It's to take your soul down to Sheol. Well, the same, if you know, like I do, the truth in what I just spoke, let me tell you that it's equally as detrimental to your soul, the lie of where, quote unquote, Israel is and who Israel is. and who they ain't. Those are lies formed to destroy you. Go through the word and you're going to see it all over in it. I hope you do. I hope you get on your face once you see this, or anytime. Anytime you feel thankful for what the Most High has done for you and what He does continuously for you, which is every waking second. I hope it reminds you to get on your face, give Him all praise, all honor, all glory, and all esteem. Why? Because He's Abba Yahuwah. He's the Most High. Our wonderful, our righteousness, our Creator. Look, you know, most people don't want to listen to all esteem because it doesn't sound like the typical preacher. You know, I don't get that sound going, you know, and I don't tell you to like, share, and subscribe. I don't tell you to send me money. I don't talk about things that are elementary. I'm not chewing up a mouthful of milk here and expecting anyone who listens to do the same. I'm trying to eat solid food because we should, all of us who read the Word, should already be to that level of maturity. A lot of people don't want to listen because they think what I talk about is nonsense. It's not matters of salvation. But you should know how that's a bald-faced lie. It's probably coming from someone who don't give a rat's behind about every letter, jot, and tittle found in Abba's Word. But if you come here to all esteem, if you don't already know, you will soon realize that I'm bowdy, suited and booted, Berean style. I want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I want no lies. I do it off my face. And any praise, glory, esteem, honor, I give to the only one deserving, that's Abba Yahuwah. My esteem, you'll soon deem, goes 160 swiftly. Wreck it by a new one. These liars do nothing but run. Shalom, shalom. For now, peace out. Peace out.